Hey, welcome everybody to episode 6 of Armchair All-Stars. Wow, we keep making it. The ratings are skyrocketing. We're going to be here a long time, I feel. This is a show where myself and a panel of could-have-been All-Stars discuss the week in Big Brother, and what a week it was. Super fans. As always, I'm international pop culture icon Matt Hoffman from Big Brother Season 12, and I have my amazing panel that we always have. Let's start off with, you might know him from BB21, but probably recognize him as my most recent Twitter follow, Sam Smith. You've been a great follow so far. It's been very exciting. What have I been waiting for? You guys got to jump on this train if you haven't yet.
I had to stalk you. I had to slightly introduce hey Matt, you're not following me yet, bro. And then finally I had to call you out on live TVCO just to get the response, and you know what? It worked. And
hey. You were right. It was good. It's dangerous following modern Big Brother people, because you never know if it's just going to be shilling products or retweeting birthday wishes and shit like that. And you're not doing that. It's great.
Oh yeah. And then once you follow somebody, you can't just unfollow them without having beef. So no. I get it. This is a big investigation. You got to give people time before you follow.
You've been a very pleasant run this past week, Sam, so thank you. Also with us, Julie Chen Moonmess is on deck replacement host Jody Rollins.
Yes.
I love the fact that you worked the word shill in the first 1 minute of the show. Shilling products, that's a great thing.
Doesn't take long, Jody.
Yeah, that's like a SAT word for some.
They say I'm smart sometimes, Jody.
Yes, you're very smart. Happy to be
here. Yeah, educated. And the lovely Rachel Swindler, speaking of Julie Chen Moonmess, legit, you're going to be interviewing her next week. This is no dry wit sarcasm.
This Thursday, actually. So
wow, like 2 days.
In 2 days. Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
Nice. Tune in for that. Where's that, AfterBuzz?
No, it's called Outside the BB House. We have a Twitter account and an Instagram account, so you can find us there. And our it's going to be on our YouTube channel right after the eviction.
That's exciting.
Wow.
I'm so glad all of
I still can't believe it's happening. So
yeah, it's paying off being an Armchair All-Star. All these big opportunities are coming your way now. So this is really exciting.
Yes, and I apologize. I do retweet my birthday tweets. That's the only thing I retweet, though.
Classic rookie mistake. Well, you got it. This is the last season to be doing that. Once you're 2 seasons out, that kind of shit has to stop.
I think I'm going to stop. I'm going to be honest with you.
It's time to end that. All right. And one of my favorite, all-time favorite alums, leader of the McCrandon Mafia and the Andy Herron fan club, season 15's McCray Olson.
How's it going? Thank you guys for having me on.
Thank you for coming, McCray, back to TVCO. It's like a homecoming.
Yeah, exactly. The prodigal son has returned. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
We are happy to have you. Everybody's happy to have you. And surprise to all the Armchair All-Stars, a triple eviction night on Armchair All-Stars. By the end of tonight, only 2 of us will be left standing. That'll it out for the winner of Armchair All-Stars.
Bye.
No, just kidding. But it's not a surprise. But we do have surprises this week. This is a very exciting week. A lot of groundbreaking activity happening on TVCO, because tonight we're broadcasting live on YouTube and Twitch and Periscope and Facebook. This is amazing. You can even stay tuned for Armchair All-Stars After Dark streaming on OnlyFans if you want to stick around for some real action.
Matt only.
Jody, you signed the contract. You're in on this. McCray, sorry.
Hey, that's all right. I'm in. I've been thinking about an OnlyFans.
It's very exciting. We're all over the internet. I feel like this is just exploding. And we have in our chat, if you're in our TVCO chat, we have stickers of us, little animated things, very exciting. And I see Sam popping up in the TVCO chat. I saw Rachel dancing around. It's a party in here. Me and my ego exploding behind me.
There's McCray emotes. If you can find them McCray emotes, make sure you send them.
Are there McCray emotes?
I mean, there was. There definitely was.
Get these out there. But and just when you're peaking at your levels of excitement, let me just reel you in even more, because we are giving away cash. It's something you might not know. TVCO just hemorrhages cash. That's how we get all of these amazing guests. That's how we can afford such a great panel. We are just burning dollar bills. And tonight, we're going to tell you how to win $50 just for watching the TVCO app. Okay, you got to listen carefully. There's a series of steps. Follow these instructions. You need to First, you need to be in the TVCO app. So all you people who are on YouTube and Facebook, keep that open, but jump in your TVCO app, and then under communities, there's a section right away. I've done this, by the way, so I know that this works. You can click on the Armchair All-Stars logo. From there, you have to join the community. You guys still keeping up? Write this down. After you join, then you're going to scroll down. No one over 60 is getting this. We've lost all the senior citizens. The kids who are following, scroll to the bottom and look for this picture. Elijah, can we get this picture up that these people need to look for? This is like a veritable Where's Waldo? Here it is. Find that picture, click it, and then all you have to do is leave a comment. That's it. Any comment. It can be horrible.
At what point?
Any comment. You could say Hoffman's a horrible host. You just won $50. Just like
Say, send it.
She's over 60, so she's got it.
What's the deadline for this?
The deadline, thank you, McCrae. That's a great question. The deadline to enter, you have 1 week to do this. So don't leave TVCO now. Keep watching Armchair All-Stars. You can comment afterwards and a week to enter. And that's it. It's that easy. You won $50. It's the easiest way. You take that $50, invest it in the Swag Academy. You'll be a millionaire in weeks. I guarantee you this.
Is this going to be a part of the triple eviction? We're going to be questioned on how to do this.
Yes. That was more difficult than any HOH.
Do you have to comment A, yes, B, no?
Because I don't mean to. I feel like I'm a modern Big Brother alum's Instagram. I'm just going to keep promoting right now. We're not done yet. You also have to hit the blue follow button because, Rachel, why? What happens when you hit the blue follow button?
You get notified when we go live.
You do. And you can also hit 3 dots. Jody, what happens when you hit the 3 dots?
Let's see.
You can mute.
You can share the broadcast.
You can share the broadcast.
Or you can mute the broadcast.
I think that's what you're looking for, Matt. Yeah.
And you can also participate in the TVCO chat. Sam, what happens there?
In my show, we usually communicate in the comments. So I can only assume that we're communicating in the comments. That's
right.
What you do.
In the comments. All of you. We're trying to follow along so we can all hang out and have some fun. Okay, you guys, spoiler warning time. I wish I need an alarm. I'm getting an alarm next time. Spoiler warning.
Like special.
That one, Rachel?
Tambourine.
There
we go.
Oh, McCrae, you're hired.
All right, now we're the big time.
Did McCrae do that?
Yeah, I did. I've got a soundboard.
Or I could do it like the basement lady. It's a spoiler alert.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
I like that.
You like that? Okay, nice.
All right, so let's talk triple eviction. We cannot avoid. This will probably be the bulk of what we talk about, even though it's typically a full week here. But generally predictable. We have the Kevin, David, Danny, like everyone, assumed would happen. We'll get into specifics of it later. But generally, I feel like double and triple evictions are a great time for flips to happen, not just because of like the rushed, chaotic nature of the event itself, but they typically tend to plan them and put them right at a perfect time in the season to jump ship and make some moves and stuff. And it's just optimal timing. And I feel like that didn't happen. McCrae, is it too late in the game to be taking this easy route? Did these players like miss out on an opportunity here? Or was this a smart move because there's a dominant alliance? Keep it rolling.
I mean, like, I don't want to jump ahead too much, but I mean, Nicole was on the block. Everyone in the world on Twitter basically is just like, you should have got rid of Nicole. But like, seriously, when we're talking about that, why would you get rid of someone that's like won the game before? Because that's the perfect fodder for sitting next to at Final 2. Like, she's really good, but she's also terrible. And the fact is that like we've seen an uptick in bitter juries. And so I think that bitter jury syndrome will take over for her, at least also, where it's like, why would I reward someone that didn't do anything the whole entire game, made 0 moves? Why would I reward her with another win? It makes no sense. And she's the perfect goat, I guess, as they say.
Yeah.
No, I would tend to agree. I think a lot of times you have an issue of perception is reality, where us on the outside are like seeing one thing and the people in the house are another. But in the case of Nicole, I tend to agree with you. I think both outside and inside the house, she just does not have to appear to be doing much other than, dangling as Cody's dingleberry. But other than that, she's just kind of riding along. And everybody sees it, I think, externally and internally.
Yeah. hope I didn't derail the conversation there. But
Never.
I mean, the rest of it though. The other thing about it is like they're so set up with like the perfect alliance. Like they're just so insulated that to me it's just like there's no reason to make these crazy moves right now. I mean, you see Tyler do it, and like he's the one that needed to make that move, and sure he made kind of a move, but you know, you guys got to capitalize on it. I think like the Cody and Nicole situation, it's just so insulated that it's like, is Cody gonna flip on Nicole, or you know, I don't know. I just who's gonna flip on Nicole again? I don't know.
Yeah.
The sponsors.
Well, Christmas and Tyler did.
Oil of
That
LA.
didn't out too well for them.
Exactly, and that's a part of the reason why it's like don't buck the herd, you know, like as you can see they tried to go against it and now they're being punished the hardest from it, you know. It's one of those things where it's like, yeah, as viewers we want to see something new, but as players it's like this is the game that's going on right now, like you need to capitalize on your wins, and yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, I was just bummed that, first of all, that they gave them a sort of a heads up and then ruined it because it was in the background and spoiled it for them and us because they had an idea, even though they didn't completely. I'm like, really? I wanted complete shock.
Yeah.
Just shake the whole house up. And also too, like it's almost like what happened with the triple eviction is almost like a classic BB21 move. Nobody wants to go against the HOH. Let's all do what he wants. Don't ruffle the feathers. And then it goes to prove why Tyler and Christmas ruffle the feathers, and now they're huge targets. And like this is why we feel a certain way, and this is why we play a certain game in a certain way that viewers can't really understand unless you're in there, like experiencing the feedback and the static, and, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, and just having a limited perspective. Like when you're there, you only have one subsection view of what's going on in the game. Outside the house, we have omniscient view or omnipotent view. I always confuse them. But like we get to see it as the God view, essentially, and we get to see it like, oh, all the moving parts. But, you know, when you're there, it's like you have such a limited view. You have blinders on. And so a lot of times I don't get upset at these house guests because it's like, well, they're kind of screwed from the get-go. I don't know. To me, it's like I try to give every house guest a little bit more credit just because it's like, yeah, they don't have the view that we have. So, of course, we think we know best, but just armchair football.
Yep, exactly. And I actually feel like I feel like having the God view right now would be McCrae, since you look like Jesus of Nazareth over there, buddy. I like it. It's a great moment.
Oh yeah, I just I don't know how to complete the look. My dad every Christmas he's like, oh yeah, you should just go to the church and just be Jesus. Like you probably make some good money. It's like, oh maybe.
That's a good idea.
That's
Jesus impersonator. Is there a market for that? You know, on Cameo,
the Jesus market is huge.
There's a Jesus on Cameo, and he kind of looks like Jesus, and he'll
that's what I should do.
Jesus.
That's what I should do.
He makes a ton of money, I feel.
That's amazing.
Wow.
Here's a tip. I think everyone can join Cameo if you just type in Cameo Fameo when you join the VIP page. I don't know if that's something I'm not supposed to say, but everyone go ahead and try it. Just I want to see what happens. Like,
wait, what are you supposed to do?
Cameo Fameo. That was like the VIP invite code. But now I'm thinking like, couldn't anyone just take that code and then just sign up for Cameo? And so I'm hoping that everyone just does that. Just like everyone. Like, let's get crazy, you know?
Internet.
Every TVCO host that's watching this right now, you guys should be making cameos. That's a fun little project, I think.
I used to make money until it became irrelevant.
It's okay. It happens to
Armchair All-Stars saying we should all be rolling in Cameo.
I maxed out at like $5,000. No, I get it now. I had
Is that real?
And it's over.
I don't know. I want to join it, but I don't know. But also, like, yeah, I don't think anyone would ever pay.
First get off the show, like you make a lot. You can make a lot of money.
No one's paying. Like, oh, McCrae.
Now it's like, you know, maybe you'll make. I got a Cameo request the other day, and it was very strange. But
good money. That's what good money is.
Daddy or something, and I was like, oh Lord Jesus.
McCrae booked me on Cameo, but not as McCrae, and didn't tell me he did it. I found out like way later that it was him, like anecdotally.
Really?
And I was like,
Yes.
this is British experience.
I was trying to get Matt to say all the craziest stuff so that I could take his footage and then I could re-edit it into a talk show where I'm asking him questions, but I'd ask him crazy questions and then he would respond with like answers that I'd predetermined from what I thought he would actually say. It was super elaborate.
None of this like was indicative of me that it was from McCrae. It was like from someone else and it was just like, hey, Matt, say these things. And then later, much later on, I found out that it was McCrae and he was doing this project for some reason. So
yeah, it was a
like,
proof of
concept.
concept.
Like done this for free.
Well, we should say for those who don't know what Cameo is, because there are some people, it's just an app where you can get famous or celebrity people to wish you happy birthday, say things, sing a song, whatever it is, and you pay them to do a little video for you. So that's what that
usually
people you just
usually it's
addressed,
like
Jody, are the people who are still trying to find the TVCO $50 Amazon picture.
Still scrolling
yeah, it's a new system that I think could be abused in fun, creative
100%.
ways. That's what I think about
And
Cameo.
we'll be streaming live on Cameo next week, so stay tuned.
Probably.
Yes.
That's a
To the pinnacle of technology. Let's get back. Okay, so we gotta cut back because it seems like a long week since this has happened, but this is what happened this week. So Kevin was evicted, but it was after David took that money. Jody, not such a bad move in hindsight or foresight, I would kind of say. What do you think?
No, I mean, I think we talked about this a little bit last week. He saw the writing on the wall. He knew that it was just a matter of time. I mean, yeah, maybe he could make some moves, but the deck was totally stacked against him. So, hey, why not have 10 grand? Even if the house is like, how dare you take the 10 grand? We're gonna, whatever, he has that check. So,
yes.
Yeah. I think I actually saw Kat tweet out. She said, I would have hit it, kept it, and then, but just kept playing until I was supposed to get out. And then I would have just picked it up and gone up there. That's what he should have done.
Oh, I wonder if he could do that.
That would have been, I mean, there's probably, I wonder if, with the rules beforehand, when they tell you all the rules, I wonder if that maybe they had said you can't hold on to the 10 grand. Maybe they said that, but that was a fun little theory.
You could have also stashed it away. You could have, like, if you did find it and like you couldn't hold it, you could stash it away in a spot where
somewhere.
Yeah, and the thing about it is, at least from our luxury competition, it's like that's the one single prize they put out there. They didn't put out like 3 $10,000 shirts. I think they just put out one, and that was like it. So it's like, yeah, that's a great idea, is to hide it or to stash it, whatever.
Yeah.
Right.
Also,
But
I think. Go ahead.
too, like in the moment, and I mean, we all know how this is. In the moment, like you probably do want to hide it, but do you realize first if they know you're taking it, fine. But do you realize if they catch you, like stubbing your pants, they're
shady. Yeah.
You are so much more toast than you were just being like, guys, I got it. So like maybe in that moment, David thought like, guys, I got it. I'll just man up and see if it gets me a little credit. It didn't, but I just wonder if that was the reason.
Truthfully, I feel like in the strange, unlikely, bizarre world that David makes it to Final Two, he doesn't have a huge resume, and doing that is kind of a baller move to like say in his resume, like, dude, I was like on the block, you guys all hated me, I just like fucking took the money. That's kind of like a cool thing. And now I'm still in Final Two, because he doesn't have really much at this point.
And then to watch Tyler cry.
Is that on purpose?
No.
He does seem like a Tanner. He really does.
To watch him cry when David's gone, like that kind of, I know some people hate Tyler, but I love him.
I like Tyler. He's a good guy, I'm sure.
It didn't make sense because his edit really didn't show them having much of a relationship towards the end.
Yeah.
Obviously they did. It was kind of like, oh, you do a little montage or something. It was just like, I miss him.
Yeah.
What?
And I think Tyler kind of felt like he was taking David under his wing too, I think a little bit. And then I also think, I don't see Tyler has made the type of connections in this house like he did on my season. He made way more deeper connections on my season, I felt like, than he has in the house this time around. So I just think I just think maybe he was closer to David than we all thought, maybe that's why, because that was crazy to see him cry like that.
Which I think his whole relationship with David was pre-Big Brother, because just like I saw Obi tweet out, so leading up to the show, I talked to Tyler on probably a weekly basis, and I legit thought the way Tyler talks, and Rachel knows this, the way Tyler talks, like he makes you feel like you're like his only friend. So like Tyler would call me, I'd call Tyler, and I'm like, yo, we're boys. me and the wife are gonna go visit them and wherever in Carolina. Like we had to set up, and also when Tyler was on the show, I saw Obi tweet out the one day, and he's like, "Wow," he goes, "I'm just realizing now how many friends Tyler has. I thought I was the only friend of Tyler's," and I was like, "Tyler talks to Obi,"
Oh my
and I
God.
had no idea. And also, when I was
He has
watching
that
later on
weight.
right, like David talks to Tyler too. So I think David and Tyler, I think they were boys before the show even went on, and that's probably why I think there was more connection to it. They're like probably why he was more sad, because like he knows these people that have a connection, and to us, we didn't see that friendship.
I think you're probably right to a degree, and like I want to preface what I'm about to say by like Tyler's all right. Tyler's like I like Tyler. He seems like a good guy. Like absolutely. But well, okay, so like the way that they cut this whole part together, it was him crying, and then he's just like, I've never been on the wrong side of a vote. And like it wasn't about him, and like I felt like it was way more about him being just on the wrong side of the vote. And to me, I'm like, well, yeah, maybe he was upset about David, but like he talked about being on the wrong side of the vote more than he talked about like not being able to save David.
Yeah,
So
when
I'm curious,
things aren't
like,
going my
well,
way,
I think
yeah, exactly.
Exact opposite, that the edit was forced, like getting that perspective, like because they wanted to show, okay, in the rest of the episode, this is the big thing. Cody's upset. This is why we're putting you on the block. But,
Yeah. No,
Yeah,
I think you're right. I think the edit was weird.
And it was really interesting out like Tyler, because he again never on the wrong side of the vote, never nominated my season, so he doesn't know what it feels like to be in this position at all. So for him, when I saw him and he was just like, "I'm so sorry, Nicole," and I was just seeing him kind of like be like so like kind of submissive and just kind of like I was like, wow, I don't really know that Tyler really. I
I
mean,
could see that.
So I just found it to be just an interesting thing to see Tyler like that. I felt bad for him, but at the same time, you voted me out, so.
gotta get a taste of the game.
Love it.
what is Nicole's response with this whole thing, where she's like, "What does he think? I'm an idiot?" Like, there was a lot that I don't know. I felt like she quickly forgot what it was like to be on the block.
Who?
Nicole. Like,
What I found interesting about Nicole was she wasn't mad at Memphis at all.
Yeah.
It was she was mad at Christmas and Tyler, and I'm like, Memphis is the one that put you in this position, so why are you? I mean, it's like she's completely forgotten about that, and her daggers and her fangs are into them two, and now Enzo is God. So, which great play on Enzo's part, I will say.
So
Enzo head. That sounds weird, but we got this.
Yeah, we have to get some exposure. David gets evicted. Kevin's evicted. Then we get a little dabble of this neighbor twist or whatever that's been promoted ad nauseum with Dr. Will. Rachel, on a scale of, let's say, Saboteur to BB Takeover, how does this rank in the scheme of overhyped Big Brother bullshit that just like really didn't quite hit the mark?
I didn't even. What was it even? It made no sense to me.
We heard about it for weeks. We don't know.
I mean, I expected this was one of the worst twists I've ever seen on the show.
Yeah,
it really
the overhyped nature of it.
It was so bad. I thought at least we'd get some like really cool entertainment from Dr. Will. Maybe he'd go in the house. Maybe like something. We'd get something. Anything would have been better than what it was.
We got bait switch. They were like, "Oh, Dr. Will, there he is in his robe. Enjoy." That's it. Like, you know.
Takes I wonder how much he made for that joke.
That's what I think. The reason why it was cut short is basically, I bet he is asking for such a price where it's like the get out of bed in the morning price, because it's like he doesn't care about this stuff anymore. You see him that he deletes all this stuff because it's like he gets inundated with just like people saying the craziest stuff to him. It's like he doesn't need that. He's got lucrative career. So to me, it's like I bet he's making an insane amount, and that's why it's like they did one day with him. That's it. Like they had him out on that porch with a like robe on. It's like he didn't come back multiple days. Like it was
I don't know,
one
McRae,
day.
he's like a regular participant in our Armchair All-Stars chat room. I actually see him in there now. What's up, Will? Dr. Will, good to see you. Thanks for always tuning in. Appreciate it.
Respect to a legend.
So then Memphis wins HOH. Puts up David and Nicole. Christmas barely wins the veto. Enzo, as we're talking about here, votes to evict David over Nicole. Sam, good move, bad move? What do you think about that kind of? That was a controversial vote.
Yeah, I was too busy laughing at what you just said. Can you please repeat that?
Joe, your thoughts on Enzo's hanky vote? He was the swing vote, and he picked Nicole over David.
Oh, yeah. See, I think Enzo relied on like gameplay and who he knows, and if the whole house is going to get out David, then it is what it is. You don't want to go against the grain. And if that's what Enzo felt at the time, like, hey. Like,
but let's think of it like this. Okay, so what do you think he is? Let's say we have to play a final 2 game. We're getting late in the game. Does he have a better final 2 shot rolling with Tyler and Christmas and David, or Nicole, Memphis, and Cody? I'd put the argument that he's probably not going to beat Tyler, but he probably would be Christmas and David. But with Nicole, Memphis, Cody, the only person he might beat is Nicole in final 2.
Yeah, but if he were to vote the other way, would that benefit him now in the house, or would he be going up next week?
That's another issue.
I don't think
if that's what he was thinking about. Like, I mean, hey,
I think it's time to play the end game. But I also was voted out 7th place. So what the fuck do
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I just think Enzo he's gotten away. I feel like he's gotten away with a lot, and I feel like he's able to talk himself out of a lot of sticky situations, and I feel like he could have talked himself out of the situation. I mean, when I watched the show and I saw his reasoning, I understood, and I was like, that actually makes a lot of sense. So I'll give him credit. But if I'm playing devil's advocate, I think he could have talked himself out of it. I think he could have given Cody a heads up and said, listen, I love you, man, but this is something I got to do for my personal game, and I think that yeah, and then he would have gained the trust with Tyler and Christmas, and it could have benefited him still. I think it was 50-50.
Yeah. Courtney J in the chat makes a good point, saying that Enzo knew that Tyler and Christmas were so tight, so linking out with them would just be him and David as some other extra number, as opposed to his perception that he's actually close for real with Cody and Memphis, and so it made more sense for him to kind of be on an even scale. I would lean in that.
I agree.
Yeah,
that is what it is. That's that.
I definitely probably would have done how Enzo voted because he played it safe, and I know myself, and I probably would have played it safe. And if I knew that, but I wish it would have gone the other way, because I think that would have been so.
I wish
interesting.
We were savages.
Well, and the other
I'm
thing,
a savage. Okay.
The fact that
Ratchet,
whether we like it or not, I don't like it. Memphis is a really good competitor. Like, he wins a lot of stuff easily. Like,
I'm digging him. I don't know what the popular vote is on him, but I like him.
I mean,
aside from the fact that I don't like him, he's playing a really good game.
Yeah, let me clarify. I like him as a player on this season, absolutely.
Memphis, Enzo, and Cody, beast, man. I feel like all 3 of them should be in the final 3 because they're that great. And that's why I worry for Enzo, because I definitely think Enzo's going to be in the final 2, but I don't know if he would win against Memphis or against Cody, because they've both just beasted. I mean, unless Enzo needs to start rolling it out here at the end, and he has been winning a lot though, so it's hard to say, but I think that they view Memphis and Cody as more of the ringleaders, and Enzo is not. So he would really have to talk himself up in those final moments, but as we see, I feel like people already know who they're going to vote for before they even, get to the final 2 speeches.
I guess it depends too how bitter the jury is, because I think in the jury they might say, wow, he was like riding under the radar. None of us really suspected. We all love him. He should win, next to whoever, he being Enzo should win. So yeah, I don't know. I guess we'll see.
Well, I don't know who's going to win Big Brother 22, but I sure know who's going to win $50, and it's going to be one of you, Armchair All-Star Superfans. Elijah, can we get that graphic up? Here's what you have to do. A mid-show reminder, get your pens and paper. You'll be quizzed later. Step 1, open your TVCO app. Under the community section, you'll see it right there up front. You got to click Armchair All-Stars. You got to work for this $50. Not work hard, but you got to work. When you're in the Armchair All-Stars community, click the join button. Scroll down after you've joined and look for this picture that you see right there somewhere. Click on it. Comments. Anything you want. Anything. We do not filter the comments. Jody's holding up what it looks like. We don't filter the comments. McCray, I'm sorry you're not eligible to enter. I wish you weren't a guest this week.
Is that actually real? I need that money so damn bad. I'm trying to eat this week.
That's how you play a fake name.
Ramen noodles.
And you have 1 week to do that. So should make sure you
Good
guys,
luck,
in case you guys
everybody. Win that $50.
win that $50. Was that you, McRae? It's kind of.
I mean, what can I say? What can I say?
It's quality. Wow. Okay, I'm sorry for that little deviant. I'm not sorry. This is great. We got cash to give away. This is awesome. Our show is awesome.
Yes.
Okay, so anyway, so then where were we? We were talking about that vote and Memphis's HOH, and Nicole stays. Then the house guests are brought to the living room where Julie fucks up the triple eviction surprise. We sort of touched on that. What a great moment. McRae, what are some of your favorite production blunders?
Oh my gosh. I mean, I think everything this season has been like just so much beyond the pale of like just weirdness, I guess. This was like, I wouldn't say this is a Julie screw up. This is 100% a production screw up. Where it's just like, this is like, you guys know, you put the giant screens behind her. You put them there. And now, like, what did you think was going to happen? Again, though, that it's one of those things where it's like, at this point, you have to assume that they wanted them to know. You know, they already slipped it with Dr. Will. Those were pre-produced things that they could have edited down so that he didn't say, oh, think 2 to maybe 3 times ahead. You know, like, you know that the house guests are going to overthink this. Like, why would you even put that in there unless you were trying to warn the house guests?
Yeah.
Do not put that in. Like, edit that out. But I mean, basically everything that Julie said this whole season has been so mind-boggling weird. Like, I allegedly in parody, I think that she is taking Xanax. That's what I would like. That's my best assumption of like why. My favorite so far this season has been the Busy Phillips comment about Danny. You look like the lovely Busy Phillips, Danny. That was like, what? What are you talking about? That was bizarre.
Between
that, I love it.
And the I like God too, and this is nothing about religious. It could have been I like the color blue too. It doesn't matter. Just that echoing of the sentiment was so strange.
Yes, it's so awesome. No, and that's the thing. It's like, you know, Julie has been so regimented before. Like she was the Chenbot. You know, I mean, famously, Matt, you called her Chenbot. You must have been the first person ever, or if only you. God, how amazing! But like. You called it out, but like she's not Chenbot anymore. She's fluid liquid, like T9000. Like she's like a Terminator now, where she's like, yeah, exactly, yeah. Like she's like adapting, and it's still weird as hell. But like it's
evolving like AI. She's turning into like
too. When the house
totally human.
Well, yeah, but when the house guests are evicted, she's like, I wish I could hug you. And I want this sort of like awkward moment instead of, you know, sit down, let's talk about whatever. It's like a fan. And she's
it's a sensitive time. She's probably just like,
true. Why is she not wearing a mask?
Rachel in pre-defense for her Thursday show. We're going to let Rachel say all the nice stuff.
Views expressed by other Armchair All-Stars don't directly affect other Armchair
Rachel's sitting there like backing away.
Sorry. But also, like, I think it's that is weird to me that Julie is not wearing a mask. Like, that is bizarre also.
It's so strange.
It makes no logical sense in
masks. We can't. I don't
and like how much she comes down on them, like, wear your fucking mask. You get out of stay at least 40 feet away from me. Don't look me in the eyes. Don't smell me. Don't breathe on me. By the way, I'll be over there chilling with Corona.
It's like, and remember, and you're like, oh, is there something happening? You are about to leave the Big Brother bubble.
Yeah.
Like, we know. Just say put on your mask.
It's branding. That's all about branding. Again, much respect to Julie. Julie, we love you. She's the best. Yeah, you can come up, Rachel. I'm not gonna say anything else. Much respect, Julie. Absolutely adore you.
Also was on your season when she called Brett Brent.
Oh, hell yeah.
I really enjoyed that. I really enjoyed that moment because I hated Brett at that point. So
incredible.
Other production VTRs are always good production fuck ups. When that happens, that's always fun. Or always fun when that goes on. That happened during our season. I think it happened during yours, McRae, for sure, if I remember.
Oh yeah. Yeah, a lot of goodness. No, production, I love that. Like, basically, the reason I really, really like Big Brother is, like, we have live episodes. Survivor doesn't have live episodes. You know, when we have these live episodes, production, like, no one's perfect. We're all not perfect. When you produce a show that's pre-recorded, you can get it all dialed in perfect. I love the just fly by the seat nature of Big Brother. I love every screw up. I don't want to be like, who in production did this? Like, let's get them fired. Because to me, that's like, it's truth. You know, it's a little bit of like, oh, this is real. Like, this is like, and Julie screwing up, it's amazing to me every time. I love it. And like, that's what makes the show real, and more real than Jeff Probst, who makes himself look amazing all the time, even when he's a scumbag, you know. So let's go after Jeff Probst here. let's. You're not interviewing him soon, Rachel, are you?
I know nothing about Jeff Probst.
Okay, perfect.
Jeff Probst.
He's man.
I think there is a genuine internal terror in Julie Chen when she is like those moments where she has to ask a question and receive an answer, and then how to deal with that answer that she receives. You know, that the off the cuff Julie is always my favorite. It's
amazing. Yeah, you feel the nervousness for her. Like she really brings you there, and to me, it's like that's all you want in a host. I love it. She's amazing.
That's really like, it would be great to go on and compete and maybe win $500,000, but just to go in and be in an interview with Julie Chen where I could throw her a few curveballs and see what happens, I think would be honestly be like the pinnacle of going back on Big Brother. That's why I will never be asked back, probably.
Oh my God.
Too many curveballs.
I'd just be like, every day I'd be like, when am I getting evicted so I can get my fucking interview? I just want to do it.
Oh my God, Matt, you're obsessed.
I love it. Okay, so in true Big Brother fashion, we go out to the backyard. It's the same fucking comp with some different wallpaper on it, and we're hacking this together. Tyler wins HOH this time. He puts up Danny and Nicole. Danny is a target. Rachel, is this the right move for Tyler? We kind of alluded that he's maybe starting to crack this season a little bit. Not the Tyler we used to know. Would in Tyler's position, Danny, Nicole, is that what you would have done?
I mean. Yes, because he has already, I feel he should have gone after Nicole instead of Danny, personally, because he had just betrayed her, and Danny and him had made a truce, and he could have made that bond even tighter, because the other side was already going after her. That could have been a number for him. So I think that it was wrong to evict Danny. They should have evicted Nicole, but I'm trying to think of the votes if that could have even happened.
Wouldn't have. So his wrong move was even putting up Danny next to Nicole.
He should have put up Nicole and Enzo or something like Nicole and one of that. Yes, that's what I think. That's what I think. Right.
Yeah. It's good.
So not like the Tyler. I think it's getting to him, not being in kind of the cool kids club where everything goes your way.
Yeah.
And we got away on your season, Rachel, ending the season with this notoriety. And I love Tyler after your season. This guy's great. He's like a great player. But was he a great player? Or did he just have like a golden road to where he got? And he just sort of skirted along. And now we're seeing that he's not a bad player, but he's not this amazing player, because now he's playing. He has to play.
It's interesting that Cody was the first HOH. And look at the position he's in. He's in the Tyler position of our season. So I find that to be very interesting. Had Tyler won the first HOH, this could have been a completely different season for him, I think. So I just think that him not getting that first HOH was maybe, but he did get the second HOH. I would say that it's, again, him wanting to quit the 5th week, because he wanted to get back to Angela. It's just, once you kind of derail in that house, which is what I felt the week that I got evicted. I can only compare it to that, and how when I derailed and I did that one fuck up, and then my whole game went to the shitter. That's like the only thing that I can view it as. It's like after that, I just felt like he just kind of lost his way, and even though he still beasted that last HOA, he won that HOH and veto back to back. So that was pretty awesome, but. And he's just lost his way a little bit.
His body is deficient in plant-based cooking, I feel like. He's missing.
Gotta get that protein.
What's up, Sam?
Vegan. So I think what a lot of viewers don't realize either is that the first HOH isn't that 15 days long. It's not just a week of first HOH. It's always the longest. If I were to go back in Big Brother, I would totally, I purposely threw the first HOH with Nicole and was like, oh, I fell off the log. But in reality, if looking back now, if I could have stayed there, because what happens is you don't know anybody.
Yeah.
So when you become the first HOH, everyone runs to you. And they're all like, save me, let's do this, let's become friends. And you make bonds right off the bat. You figure out where the house wants to sit. You get out the people they don't want. no blood on your hands. It is the best HOH by far.
Yes.
And now I see that after being in. So Tyler, when he won the first HOH, he had it made. Everyone wanted to see him. It's just like Christy's spot in my season. Everyone liked her. Everyone wanted to see her, like this and that. And now Cody did the same thing. And it's always like the first HOH, which I always thought was like dreaded. Ooh, you get so much blood on your hands.
A lot of people say that.
Really?
Well, that's the old
totally
BB versus the new BB that we've been
Yes.
talking about. Old BB was like, you don't want to be first, which is why they twist to me in the first place. Like, oh, I mean, you don't want to be HOH? Well, they'll send you home, so you got to fight for it. And that was the thing, because it was like, oh, you put yourself out there. People knew you were strong. You were targeted. Now it's like, as Sam has mentioned in our past episodes of Armchair All-Stars, is that people do like clamor to you, and then it's just everyone's sort of set, you know?
Yep.
And back to Matt's comment and a little bit to Rachel, I actually think that Tyler is playing a great game, but you just can't control if somebody's going to click. Like Enzo and Cody having that like Jersey boy like thing, like that's it. Like it's just there. And Tyler is just, you know, a faux surfer dude, as great as he is, doesn't fit in with that energy at all.
Right.
Yeah, I kind of agree. I definitely agree with you on that.
Well, and the other thing is that, I mean, he basically was about to try to take a shot at Danny, I feel like, 2 weeks earlier. So, like, he was already on Danny's radar. Danny put him up. So there's the one person that's like, okay, he hasn't taken a shot, or no one else has taken a shot at him from the boys. So then the next person, he just screwed up the vote with Nicole. So it's like, okay, well, that's the second person that would be on my shit list that's going to be coming after me if I don't get rid of them. So it's like, basically, you know, like, why would he make new enemies in Enzo or Cody or Memphis when it's like he already has these enemies in Danny and Nicole? So it's like, he should have. It would have been cool if he took a shot at Cody or Enzo.
Yeah,
or
but it could
Memphis.
have gotten really messy.
But well, it's like that seems like it's even worse overall. So to me, I'm like, well, I understand exactly why he did what he did.
Yeah.
And just because your game worked on a past season doesn't mean it's going to work on this season. Because, you know, Big Brother's 50% luck, 50% game. So if Tyler's game worked on his season, great. But if he brought it over to this season, it's not working. You have to adapt and overcome. And I wonder if Cody's doing that. Like, I wonder if Cody's reading through it and he's adapting, and whereas Tyler's stuck on his game and there's just no hope almost, you know?
Cameron from my season actually threw out, like, really early in the season that, like, basically everyone is playing the same game as they did from seasons past. Like, I mean, can we all talk, or, like, do we think that we're all still at that point, or like who's deviated from their prior game?
I mean, hasn't Danny a bit? She's been very vocal about how she was like, I don't want to play hard, but I feel like she has been playing hard.
She played hard. Yeah, exactly. To me, Danny's one that, like, she seems like she exemplifies that role.
You know, at least in her last season with Rachel, she was an underdog. She wasn't like, she was hanging out with Leah, trying to find her way and turning on her alliance. So now when she was sitting pretty, she, like, I feel, jumped the gun and started making dangerous moves when she just sort of hung back a little bit because people were not really focused on her until she did that.
Yeah, and there's something about when Danny speaks, like when I watch her speak, she's very smart, and she's just very, like, intense. And when I watch her, I feel as though I would be very threatened by her. Like, I'd be like, damn, I was like, I gotta get her out at some point. Like, that's how I would feel.
It's like Amanda would talk like that, and from my season, where I'm just like, you need to chill out, like, back it up. Like, we're just like, I get it, you want what you want, but also, like, you need to chill out. I feel like Danny has that same problem of, like, they want what they want and they're gonna, like, express it, which is like, it's commendable, but at the same time, it's like, well, in a game like this, like, you're gonna get caught up in some shit. I don't know.
Yeah.
So, speaking of Danny, so Tyler wins the veto. It keeps announced the same. Bailey gave her an ominous warning. If you swing, don't miss at Tyler. And then she swung and she missed. And sure as shit, there she goes. 4-0, but not before a great eviction speech, right? One of those blow-up ones, which we love. Sam, do you like the blow-up speeches, or do you like just get in and out and stop making waves?
Well, blow-up speeches are great if they're going to help you. Blow-up speeches that help other people that are still in the house, that's pointless. You don't get anything out of it. Big Brother is all about being selfish and trying to win the money for yourself, and that's what you need to do. So when people, like, try to do, because who was the one giving the one speech, And we were all like, why is they even going to do that? Because it doesn't even affect them. I forget who it was. Somebody did it from BB 2022. And it was just like one of those things where it's like, if it's not going to help you like stay at the last minute, like don't even do it. Like what is this achieving in reality? You can stand there and be like, oh, guys, just let you know, there's an alliance here, there's an alliance here. All right, go ahead and evict me. Thank you. Like, that's stupid. No. Like,
Was that the Kaser speech this season? Someone in the chat saying
Yeah,
that he did
someone
that.
maybe
Yeah,
that-
it sounds like you're.
Was that the one? Yeah. All right. Yeah. He was, because they want him to blow up. He kind of touched base, but he didn't like blow up like they want him to. But like in all reality, all you're doing is helping people in the house. It's not benefiting you. And the minute you walk out the door, they don't give a crap about you. So at that point, I'd stand up and be like, I don't owe you guys nothing. Bye.
I think
No,
I
I
think
thought-
notoriously eviction speeches, we all can agree, are just kind of like something to, for us to
As a viewer.
narcissistically pontificate ours,
Exactly.
Yeah.
They're not going to
Listen,
change
yeah.
anybody's votes.
But the one
Right.
time I would say that's maybe not true, and because of this, when you should do a blow up speech, is during these rush triple double
Yes.
evictions,
Oh,
True.
because that might work. And Danny's wasn't bad. I mean, she
I
really kind
liked
of,
hers.
she
Mhm.
said, the three of you, I'm after these two. Just
Yep.
keep me here, and I'm
Yeah.
gonna go after these two, and called it out. I mean, it didn't work, but I think in the scheme of like blow up speeches, that was well placed.
It was.
Yeah.
You're right.
And that's like when somebody's going to put you on the block and you're like, or, if you put me on the block, then I'm not going to vote for you to win. I mean, it's kind of like that. It's a little bit of a threat,
Yeah. You vote me out.
entrapment, if you will. So,
But yeah, the problem with that threat is just like, it's like holding a gun to your own head. Like, well, I'll kill myself if you don't. And like, oh, all right, well, go for it. Then, I mean, fuck off.
Don't make me
Like,
do this.
Yeah, I will do. I swear to God, I'll kill him. Yeah, all right, well, cool. If it's, yeah, that's the way I feel about that. But
yeah.
there's something about that threat. I don't know.
There's
Does that
something
threat
about-
ever work? I agree. Where it's, I mean,
feel like-
especially now with a bitter jury.
I don't know if that actually has worked, but I understand. I mean, if you're like a Kevin and your back's against the wall literally the entire game, what else do you have to play? At that
Agreed. I agree with that 100%.
But I would have waited. Because he talked to him before the nominations. I would have maybe waited till after.
It was like immediate, yeah. Like just chill out a little. But again, like I think the idea is there. I think that could be in the newer game of Big Brother. I do think that like using jury votes as a threat is something in the game. I just don't know how, or I just don't think it's been fleshed out appropriately yet. Like. Yeah. I think
Players don't
that
take it
could be
well.
something in the future, as long as the game doesn't change at all.
like
That
threats
might
all
work
in house.
with, like 2 or 3 people that are like, look, I don't know when you would say that, but like us 3 have decided
Yeah.
me up, her up, or him up, all 3 of us, when we leave, will not vote for you. Maybe
Yeah.
if you have like a power thing, I don't know. But
Yeah.
You
that's
must
a
see an
good- that's-
alliance behind you. Yeah.
Yeah.
I do agree. I think there is something there. I think that like, especially with the bitter jury stuff, I don't know. I feel like everyone, like in Survivor and in Big Brother, we're moving more towards a bitter jury where you have to like placate these egos and fragile minds, I guess. So to me, I'm like, yeah, you have to start doing different psychological warfare against people like that. I guess. I don't know. Or get them out pre-jury. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Can you imagine if there was a comp that gave you an extra jury vote and then you had that in the game, how much people in the house would be like, hold on. Like, can you imagine that?
Yes, that's actually a
Good
good
one.
point.
That
Yes.
is a good idea.
It's
Coming
coming.
back, BB23.
Well, I mean, you mentioned bitter juries. Graham Jody's mentioned it earlier. We're basically at a point where the jury is mostly committee members who have been evicted by other committee members. So we're definitely poised for a very bitter jury, which to me sets Enzo up maybe for victory in this case, because he's riding the outskirts. And I don't know. I mean, look, I do, and hands down, like I love Enzo on a personal level, but I don't think he should be the winner of Big Brother All Stars. I just don't. And bitter jury is I think we're gonna get hit with that.
Yeah.
What if Enzo wins like an HOH, another week goes by, and another HOH? Would you feel like he deserves it then? Because
If he comp beats it out, how many comps do we have left? Like what, 4 or something?
I don't even know.
What, 8 probably?
Oh, we have 8.
Or, I mean, like, well, because how many weeks are left? 3, so 6.
6 comps.
So
If he
I
won
mean,
a
like
couple
3
HOHs,
HOHs.
I would say
Yeah.
this is his time. He needs to
Yeah.
start building,
Well,
or
now-
not really. Honestly, I feel like this bitter jury, he can kind of just, as long as he gets there at this point.
He could be the new Nicole.
He's set up
Yeah.
so well right now. Like when I was
He
watching the
is.
show last night, he is set up so well. So in a certain sense, he doesn't need to win. I mean, he should be when he gets to the final 3, and if he beats it out then, and then I would be like, okay, he explained that to me, then I would understand better. But I mean, I think if Enzo was a winner, I would be happy with that.
I feel like not being part of the committee was one of the best things that happened to him
Yes.
next season. Like not making it to that alliance.
It was like Sam and the JC on our level 6, except it was 2 of them. They had them trickling along, specifically JC, who made it all the way to top 3 because he was riding the coattails of a bigger alliance. And
Have you guys had
I was trying
JC on
to-
your show yet?
Not yet.
on Armchair All Stars.
Are you
I
guys-
met JC only one time, and he thought I was a fan.
nothing to do with Big Brother.
I feel like if I have him out, it'd be like, oh, you're the fan.
Oh, man.
Shut up.
It's getting close to election season. Now's the time.
Oh, controversial.
While the iron's hot.
When I was in Florida, we were doing that Give Kids the World charity, and I didn't even know JC
Yes.
was on our bus. I just couldn't see him, and we were sitting in the chair, me and Bella, and she sounded really bad. And me and her sitting in the chair, and all of a sudden I see his phone go up in like selfie mode, and it goes up and it looks at me and Bella, and like I just thought like, who's on our bus right now taking a picture of us? And then he angled down, and then I see JC like sitting in the chair. And I hopped
JC, let's
over, and I'm
go.
like, yo, I didn't know you're here. He's like, however he talks, like I can't even try to do it.
Yeah,
But
I
he's like,
wouldn't.
It's like it's me, you see.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's like, oh,
Yes.
that's
I thought he
cool.
played a good game.
No.
Just snap your little glasses and para sus a mí, honey.
Exactly it.
JC is a character. All right, I sorry to derail with JC talk.
Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ.
Jesus Christ, yes, exactly.
Right.
Again.
So, and then finding out this triple eviction. No, Julie Chen Moon has inspirational quote. That was kind of a bummer at the end of. I always look forward to those.
Huge
But that-
bummer.
Huge bummer. But we were
Mhm.
treated to an HOH comp where everyone just got naked, which was weird. I guess it was a weird comp. Right? I like that it was in that
Been a
room.
comp before. I was at that was I forgot what season that was, but that's been a comp before because I was like, oh, I remember
Yes.
this one.
Yeah.
Was it?
Yeah,
They
that's been-
didn't really get like. Did they go? They had clothes under their clothes in the first one, did they, or were they like full on buck? Like
I don't know. I don't think it was too crazy. It was like the jet ski one where they're on the jet
Yes,
ski.
jet ski one. Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We got to
Yep.
see Enzo's head, which is so exciting. That was like the
Wait,
biggest
that's
twist
a-
of the season. It was kind of much like most Big Brother twists. It was a bit of a letdown. It was kind of normal. But I'm definitely curious.
Matt, I have a question for you.
Tyler, when he was hosting the comp and he was like, put your left hand here, your right hand here, and your left
Character.
here. And I know they told him to be mellow, but it was just like,
That's terrible. Yeah, it was just the
They were
worst
like, all right,
lead.
so we need you to be a yoga instructor. You have to be really calm.
clothes they gave him.
My
Was I
question-
the only? Yeah.
Did Enzo shower on your season? Because I've seen some things tweeted out that are like, oh, Enzo's taking his like second shower of the season.
I
Oh,
always
stuff like
shower.
that.
We'd shave his balls in the shower, which I always thought was like I appreciated that. Like
So,
that's a bold thing to do when and it was not in the HOH shower either. And he'd make a joke
I
about
did
it. Like,
that.
we'd watch him, he'd laugh and be like,
especially
yeah.
what Lane did in the shower.
I feel like that's a thing because last season it was Annalise didn't shower. That was like the big rumor on Twitter. They were like, oh, Annalise doesn't shower. So and then now I've seen some stuff about Enzo.
Hey, there's a drought in California. I don't know if anyone
Yes.
knows.
Maybe that's why his hair's not growing because he has to water it. He just needs to take a shower and plant
Yeah,
it.
so we're not
I was the person that didn't shower on my season. Sorry, I have to defend it.
Nice.
Come on, reduce, reuse, recycle. Am I right, folks? Come
Yeah.
on.
I showered every morning.
Fluids.
Same.
So there you go.
No,
I showered every morning and night, and there were 3 different times where I'm showering, trying to enjoy what's left of my life in the Big Brother house. And I was just like, house guests, please conserve water. They're like, no one's allowed to
Say
relax.
that?
No one's
Really?
allowed anything.
That's funny.
That was a
Like
message
3
that was
times.
sent out.
Yeah, it was right out in speakers. I'm just like, okay.
See?
Sorry.
Am I wrong?
In my hair.
What's some of the most
No.
oddball other call-outs you guys remember, like from the speakers?
I got.
Voting to the
sorry,
DR.
No,
Rachel.
I can't remember. There was really one awkward one our season, and it was like, "Do unto others as you would want unto you," or just like
Julie took over the mic.
Yeah, exactly. One of Julie's words of wisdoms.
like smile. Today is a great day, or something like that.
I remember those ones. Yeah.
Be like,
You guys get told to put up the awnings. What the fuck is
Awnings,
that?
yeah. We did awnings. We did awnings.
I
The
hate that.
the one that made I was so depressed in the house, like I had such deep depression in the house. And I made like this huge bowl of slop. Like it was refried, double fried slop with like ketchup and mustard on top of it. I brought it outside. I was about to just like eat it, and then it like slipped off the table and just like dumped everywhere. And like then Big Brother put on the thing like, that's why we can't have nice things. And everyone was like, oh! Like I was literally just like, I'm gonna go kill myself. Oh, like I was so fucking depressed that I was just like, I'm gonna just throw this thing across the. Oh.
Why were you depressed? I mean, like,
Just because psychologically I'm unstable.
Are you okay now?
you're like, but I passed the psych test.
No, yeah, I'm so great. No, I mean,
Did we even check
yeah,
on the
with
price?
like just like slight depression, you can get by. It's really easy. I'm doing great now.
Of course you're doing great. You're a guest on Armchair All-Stars on
Oh.
TVCO. And McCray, I'd like to thank you for joining us this week on our 6th
Is this the end?
episode of Armchair. You made it! You fucking made it, McCray.
Oh, I made it.
You made
I
it.
survived.
Congratulations.
I
Put this
survived.
on your IMDb immediately following.
Hell yes.
We'll be back live on the TVCO app, but that's not all. Streaming on all platforms. YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, Periscope. People use Periscope still, you guys. We're on it. It's true. Every Tuesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific. Armchair All-Stars After Dark on OnlyFans later tonight. Hit that follow button so you know when we're live, topless. Next week, guess who is on next week, you guys. I love this guessing.
I don't believe you anymore.
James Ryan. James Ryan.
I'm not
Yeah,
guessing.
James Ryan. You know that because you're a longtime fan of Armchair All-Stars. It is a season 12 alumni.
oh, give us a hint.
One of my OGs.
Pretty Hanks.
Oh, Rachel, I'm sorry. It's not
God
Brittany Hanks.
Male
no,
or female?
It is a female.
Rachel Riley.
It is Rachel Riley.
Oh, yay!
Try to
She's
get
coming
Kat
on my show too.
out.
Get Kristen.
I would love to.
Or
get
is it Kirsten?
Kristen?
I fucked up. Kristen. Oh my God. Her Facebook is amazing.
I heard. I should tell you there is a Big Brother 12 Zoom reunion for
Oh,
charity happening.
Biting?
Next
Oh,
week.
yeah.
Biting. Yes.
About that. But anyway, don't forget to hit that blue follow button. Get notified when we go live. It's going to happen all the time. Anytime, you never know. Click those
Also-
3 dots right there. Jody, thank you. 3 dots. Share us on social media. And I'd be remiss if I didn't mention this amazing $50 giveaway again, you guys. Well, last time, we're going to go through this. Open it. There we go. Great. $1
We
bill.
gotta hire McCray. Sound effects.
Right? Am I right?
Go to the Armchair All-Star community. Hit the join button. Join us. Join the cult. Scroll down. Click this picture. Elijah, let's pop that picture. We got it. It's up right there. Click that thing, wherever it is, and then scroll down and click it, and then add a comment. You guys follow this. Any comment you want. Nice. I mean, we don't care. Add the comment. Make tons of money. Reinvest. You'll be rich beyond your wildest dreams. Thanks to Armchair All-Stars, and thanks to this awesome panel we love hanging out with every week. Rachel, where can we find you? You have an exciting week coming up.
Oh,
There you go.
you can find me on Twitter at RayTSwin or on Instagram at Rachel Swindler. And then we will be interviewing Julie Chen Moonves on Thursday, right after the eviction. And that is from outside the BB house on Twitter. Let me make sure that that's what it is. No, keep going. But it's outside the BB house or from outside. I can't remember because it's different. So
Will you
just
be
keep going.
streaming on Periscope or giving away any money?
Unfortunately, I will not, and it is outside the house. So follow us on outside the house. That is where you can find our YouTube channel to watch the live interview with Julie.
Well, that actually will be fun. Tune in
Yeah.
on that. Hey, Sam, what's up? Where do we find you?
What's up? So find me on TVCO app, send it with Sam show, because I've now decided that every single time I go to end a show, I want to leave it with like a Julie Chen quote. Can you imagine if every show we did that? So like I'd be turned and I'd be like, Viewers, give Satan an inch, and he'll become a ruler. Like, just cancel the
Yes,
show.
you need
I'm gonna
that.
start doing that from here on out. So that's all I gotta say.
Smart.
Set It With Sam show, TVCO, Saturdays, 9 p.m.
Awesome. Tune in. And Jody, tell us about podcast life.
Podcast life is great. I have listeners from all over the world, so that's exciting. Big Time Small Talk. You can listen to it. It is un-Big Brother related. We just dig into issues, talk about life, interesting stories. I think you'll like it. Give it a chance. Find me on Instagram, Jody Rollins. I don't know what chance is.
I feel good.
Small Talk. Find it everywhere. Big Time Small Talk, Big Time Small Talk. What is it? Big Time
Small talk.
Uh,
And
Oh, yeah.
McCray, thank you so much for joining us. Where can we find all of your activity?
You guys can find me on Twitter, whatever. I'm not going to give you it. You'll figure it out. But you can find me on twitch.tv/chumlord. I'm the Chum Lord, Lord of the Chum, CHUMLORD. We've been playing Among Us with some alumni, Cameron Hurd, and Matt. Everyone should join, really. It's a social strategy game where we all just lie and manipulate. It's great. But yeah, hit me up on Twitch. I'm doing OTB on the block over there with Cameron Hurd. Mr. Season 19 first boot. Love him.
Cool.
aw.
And you can find me on Twitter at MHMoonvez. From outside the Armchair All-Stars house, I'm Matt Hoffman. And as always, remember the golden rule. If at first you don't succeed, try again to team up with Cody. Good night.
Yeah, bye.